Okay. This should be awesome. All right. I hear something. Oh, mute. How about that? Mute. There we go. All right. Let me just check my YouTube feed, make sure that I'm up and live on there before we get started. Oh, Candace Owens is live too. My girl, I'm missing it. Okay, we are live. All right. So today we are talking about gel nails. Yes, and I do have my nails on. Thank you so much for noticing. We are live on YouTube as well as Facebook also. It's kind of like the red-headed stepchild. I don't really care for Facebook, mainly because my mother's on there and she's. What did you say? So we're gonna talk about gel nails today. Y'all ready? Because this is one of my favorite chapters. I know I say that about every chapter. I'm sorry. I know. Just, it is what it is. So this is in the text, even though we are trying to move away from it. It's chapter 12, page 353. Okay. Gel nails. Why do you ladies think you need to learn about gel nails? What's so great about it? Because most people aren't really getting gel nails, right? I mean, when we talk about 100% gel nails, okay? What? It is flexible, more flexible than acrylic, right? That's one of the pros of it. But have any of you ever had gel nails or gotten your nails? No, I know you have because you're from Europe, so they do. She's like, they tend to, lean more to the gel side. I actually never heard of gel until I went to Germany and lived in Europe, and that's the only time I had ever heard of it. But I mean, sculpting nails was also a thing there as well in general. So, gel nails. Let's talk about why you need to learn it. So, why should you learn about gel nails? Well, number one, it is a skill that most nail technicians don't generally have. Okay, they don't usually pick up gel. It's not one of the most popular services out there, but it is one of the most expensive services out there. Okay, we talk about sculpting with acrylic, but what about sculpting gel nails? Oh, so it's so beautiful. There's no odor. There's
no time you have you possible the modification you don't have it.
Yes, so let me translate. What she's saying is, because I speak a little Italianese too. So what she's saying is you have more time to modify it, meaning have more time to work with the product. It's more forgiving, right? A lot of nail technicians, if the first thing you ever picked up was acrylic, and you never picked up gel ever, of course you're going to say gel is harder, right? But if the first thing you picked up was gel, vice versa. So I like you guys to be well-rounded and know how to use all products so that you are, well-rounded nail tech that can do everything your clients ask for. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, on top of why you need to learn how to use light cured gels. We'll use the word light cured sometimes, okay, or UV or LED hybrid lamps. Okay, they're all light cured. Okay, we're also going to talk about the chemistry of gels. And as much as I hate chemistry, because it's the reason why I'm not a doctor today. Can y'all imagine me being a doctor?
Yes. She's like, yes.
I wanted to be a doctor. I would have been Dr. Miami. I swear, I would have been just like Dr. Miami. Yes, I'd have been going live like, today we are going to be doing a rectal exam. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Make sure you double glove. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's the only reason I'm not to be honest with you, I wanted to be a doctor, but then I was like, no, I'll be a nurse. Takes too long. And then I was like, can't pass chemistry. can't pass it. Took me 3 times, and I still didn't pass it. I was like, you know what? I'll just be a nail tech instructor. So, the chemistry of gels, which is my favorite part. Go figure. And then we'll talk about the difference between UV and LED and hybrid gel lamps. I'm going to show you guys my new lamp, which I'm super excited about. I love this lamp. I swear I love it. And when you pick it up and touch it for yourself, you'll understand why it's so great. Okay, that's somebody trying to call. It ain't going to go through. All right. We're going to also talk about the different types of gel systems that we currently have. And what I mean by that is Gel X, Light Elegance, what's some other ones? IBD. There's so many different gel systems out here nowadays. Cocoist. Oh, I love them. They have some really, really cool colors. Coco, it's like Kokoist or something like that. Yeah, they have beautiful gels. So many different. It's a Japanese brand, I believe. Speaking of a Japanese brand, Vetro. There's several. Valentino has a gel line. Everybody has a gel line nowadays. Okay. We're also going to talk about some supplies you need, and then how you store gels, because it's very different how you store gels versus versus acrylic. Okay. Also, how do we remove gels, and which gels can be removed, because some can't, right? And then when should we use gels, and when should we say, maybe not? All right. So why do you need to learn how to use gel systems? Well, first of all, many clients are going to request gel services. And we're not just talking about gel, building gel or extending gels. What about gel polish? Yeah. Gel polish is, who is not getting gel polish nowadays? Yep. On the toes? Me, I don't like, but that's me personally. Okay. But most people are asking for gel, right? And soak off gels are one of the most requested services out there, and those are going to be your gel polishes. They even have soak off gels nowadays, at builder gels and even acrogels. I didn't know that they had soak off acrogels until recent. So there's several, and soak off is obviously going to be a little bit better, because it's a little less damaging to the nail. But if you are a well-trained nail tech, you know how to remove it, and we'll get to that soon. Now, choosing your products, these things are expensive. Okay, gel is expensive. You get a pot of gel, which I brought all of my different types of gels today to show you guys. But you get a pot of gel, and a pot of gel may cost you, I don't know, I got it on sale because he was trying to get rid of them. These were $10. But usually I think they're like $30, $25, $29, $30 for a pot, right? So, but the great thing about a pot of gel is that you're going to use every bit of it. There's not going to be any waste in comparison to acrylic. When you use acrylic and you've got monomer and powder piling up on your paper towel, you're like, it should be on the nail, right? Not on the paper towel. However, with gel, because like you said, you have time to modify it, you have time to move it around, you can actually take it off, use it on another nail if you have too much, things like that. It's a little more expensive, but a lot less wasteful. Okay. And when you have clients that love gel and they're like, I don't want acrylic, I only want gel, they're going to be very loyal clients. Okay.
I didn't see the one that was up here from last week.
There you go.
Thanks.
All right. So moving right along. Now let's talk about the chemistry of gel, okay? Because when we talk about chemistry, it's very similar to acrylic, right? Because they are acrylates, all right? But just remember that gel is curing by light, and acrylic will cure faster with heat, right? Okay. So since we are all agree with that, let's talk about some words that you are going to see. You will see these words again. I know. Eleanor's like, I already got to learn English. Now you want me to learn the hard words in the chemistry English language? Yeah, you got to. All right. So words like oligomer, viscosity, cure, photo initiator, these are words you're going to see. So first and foremost, what does it, when we say that something is cured with acrylic, we know it's cured by how? You're going to tap, you'll tap on it, or you may even be able to visually see that it's cured because it turns what?
Matte.
Very good. Matte. It will turn matte. Well, with gel, the only way you know it's cured is by having the right equipment, really. Because if your equipment is faulty, it could look like it's cured, couldn't it? And then the inside of it is not cured, right? Even we talked about forms last week, making sure that we have forms that are clear when we're doing gel sometimes, because the gel won't be cured underneath if you have a form that's not clear. Right. Okay, so it's a little bit different. Working with it is very much so a different animal. But when it comes to curing, we've got to make sure that our products and our lamps and things like that, things of that nature, are working properly, and that we know how to use them. How many times have you picked up some gel, and just was like, okay, I guess stick it in the lamp, but you don't know how many seconds, how many minutes. You don't know how much. You should be reading the packaging, right? But I mean, nobody does that. They go on YouTube and they look up gel, and then they say, oh, 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds. All right. That's not always the right way. Okay. Now I'm going to skip around a little bit with some of these words, but we do also have a polymerization process with gel, don't we? And when we put our hand in the light, oh, you can feel a little bit of burn, right? And that is not good, is it? No. Why is it not good? A lot of people think, oh, even my best friend said, I love that burn. I was like, no, the burn is bad. Why is it bad?
Because it's too many material in one position.
Yes, too much material.
For you said is in the room, in the party, everybody's going inside.
Yes, see, you remember. Let me translate. So what she said was, too much materials, everybody in the party, it gets too hot. She's talking about polymerization, right? Yeah. So if you have too much of the product on the hands and you go into the light, and that light is at 96 watts, just boom, turns on. All of a sudden, it's like when you in the morning, you sleeping, and then your mom comes in and she starts singing that damn song. Wake up, wake up, wake. I still remember it to this day. My mom used to wake me up to that every morning. It's time to get up in the morning. And then she go, flip, turn the light on. I'm like, no. Don't it burn? It burns your eyes, right? Yeah. So with gel, you have to be very careful. And the reason why you don't want to feel that burn is because it's not a pretend burn. It's a real burn. What you're feeling is that exothermic reaction, that heat building up all at one time and physically causing a burn on your finger underneath the nail plate and on the nail bed. And you can actually see sometimes a little like white spot. And you're like, what is that white spot? What it is your scar. Basically underneath there, and it's gonna have to grow out. You basically cause a nice little, first degree burn, like a sunburn on the nail bed. And what can happen if you have an injury between the nail bed and the nail plate? What can happen? And what is that called? Because I don't teach enough disorders and diseases in here. Onycholiasis can happen, and that happens again because we have a little burn in between that nail plate and the nail bed, and it will take time to grow out, and then you'll have separation. Okay, so we don't want that burn. And that leads me to my amazing light. One of the features of my light is that it has a low temperature mode. Okay, it will start out, because I don't want to get into the light too much, but I can show you when I turn this on. And first of all, this thing is heavy, baby. It's because it's good quality, right? So if I turn the light on right now, you see how bright it is? That's the 60-second, right? But the low power, can you see how bright it is? It's super bright, right? Wait, is it on?
It was. There it goes.
I keep tapping it because I can't see.
It's off. It's off still.
Okay.
It's on.
You see how bright it is? All right, now, when I do the low power mode, look how low the light is. You see? Mm-hmm. And it will gradually get brighter and brighter and more powerful over a 99-second period. And it has 99 seconds, but it's counting down for you. It does 99 seconds to the highest point, but sometimes we only need 30 seconds. So if you're worried about, just check, make sure you're looking to see how many seconds, but it will gradually bring that temperature up so that it doesn't burn the client, which is a great feature. Don't you think? Oh. She's like, why is it so expensive? No, I'm just joking.
In Italy, it's used go inside 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But why do you want to keep doing that? Do you know the client's going to mess up everything? They're going to go boom, 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 boom. You charge them more, and then you could just buy a good light. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, but there is ways, like she said, so that you don't have to necessarily you don't have to have that. Because it's mine. But you don't have to have that feature. You can do, like she said, flash cure and kind of go in and out, in and out, in and out. But you chance your client bumping it on something, or whatever the case may be. So, you guys, if you click the link in my bio, you can see everything that my students see today, and you will be in our YouTube. Join us on YouTube so you can see everything. Hold on, just so you guys can see. Boop. Let me flip.
It's gonna storm.
It's about to rain. This is what you see on YouTube. Okay. So click the link in my bio so that you can join us. All you got to do is give me your email address. All right. Moving right along. Thank you so much. All right, so the next word that I want to talk to you about is exothermic reaction. What is exothermic? This is kind of review, because we had an exothermic reaction with our acrylic, didn't we? Mm-hmm. And what does exothermic mean?
Heat out.
Putting heat out.
Yeah.
Endothermic means bring it indoors, bring it into the body. So we're with gel, that's why you feel that heat. It's an exothermic reaction. So that's just a little bit of a review. Now, when we talk about words like oligomer, what is an oligomer? Anybody know?
Not really.
No, not really. And I don't even know why I don't see it in here.
So it's like the second sentence under the describe the chemistry.
I was about to say, I don't see why it's not highlighted, yeah. But an oligomer, okay, is also known as a prepolymer. Okay, so what does that mean? It's a thick, gel-like, sticky acrylate that's stuck between the liquid and the hard solid. Okay, so it's kind of like it's stuck between. It's been all mixed together already, and it's stuck between liquid and solid.
So, like the product
so it's the product. It's already got everything in it that already like your monomer and your polymer cross links. Gotcha, okay. It has everything. Oh, there goes that rain. It's coming down. Hope everybody put their windows up. It's stuck in between. So just like you have liquid and a solid, in between you would probably have like a
jelly.
Yeah, jelly. There you go, like jelly. So it's all mixed together, but it hasn't cured yet. Okay. And how is it going to cure? With the lamp, right? So, not to get into all these fancy words, because you can read in the book, it'll say, most gels use a urethane, methyl acrylate, oligomer, blah blah blah. But what you need to know about gels is that they have just an amazing adhesion. Okay, when it comes to their adhesion in comparison to acrylic, it just holds better to the nail, and a lower risk of sensitivity. You guys know that I have contact dermatitis, which, praise God, it's healing. Okay, I've been using a new cream, and it's healing. Okay, but why would gel have a lower risk of sensitivity than acrylic? And when we're talking about acrylic, liquid and powder, okay? Why? Think about when the process of applying acrylic. That damn liquid gets everywhere. Yeah. And we as nail techs, we put our elbows in it. We put we're cleaning up around the skin. You get a little bit on the skin. You're like, you want to touch it with that liquid. Gel goes where you put it. So you guys may have hated me in the beginning when I said you have to polish, 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 polish. But the point of that is because if you can't polish a nail, you can't do gel. You're going to have gel everywhere, all over the skin, and you don't. So you've got to get used to applying polish neatly and in a way that it doesn't get on the skin, because it's just a little easier to use gel because you apply it, just put it where, and it sticks where it's supposed to stick. Okay. And like I said, this will make more sense as we go along. All right. Hey, Henry. All right. So a photo initiator. Wait, before I move to that, sorry, let's talk about viscosity. Okay. Viscosity. What does that word mean?
Determines how thick or thin a liquid is.
Yes, it's the measurement of how thick or thin your gel is. Well, in this case, gel. Yeah. You could say liquid, you could say concrete, but in this case, we're talking about gel. So thin viscosity gels, such as your brush-on formulas, like your gel polish, right? Those are thinner viscosities. Or even your base coats sometimes can be pretty thin. But these are referred to, in most cases, medium consistency gels, okay? When we talk about self-leveling gels, all right? Sorry, did I just say, I said something completely wrong. We have our thin consistency, which is our gel polish, base coats and stuff like that flow very thin. And then our medium consistency gels are sometimes referred to as self-leveling gels. Okay. If it's thin, it's watery. It's going to run all over the place, right? If it's medium, then it's not going to move as much, but it still has a little bit of movement. But usually those are self-leveling gels. And you know a self-leveling gel, don't you? One that will smooth out on its own, okay? It will only go to a certain level. Even if you put it on lumpy, eventually it comes back down and it's level, right? Mm-hmm. Now we got those thick consistency gels. And when we talk about thick ones, usually those don't move. Okay, where they might be builder gels, things like that. And there are builder gels that are self-leveling, but let me give you guys a visual, okay? So you've got your, okay. So you've got your thinner consistency, which is your polish, right? Mm-hmm. So this one is thin consistency. It can literally, it can drip. I mean, it's not going to drip like a regular polish, but this is considered a thinner consistency, right? Then you have your medium consistency. Ooh, and that one ain't it. Your medium consistency gels that are, because this one isn't even self-leveling. I thought I brought a medium. I did. And if I don't, I've got one right here. Hold on, because y'all need to see. Medium consistency with your self-leveling. This is what you guys are going to get today. This is IBD gel, okay? Just so you guys know, this is IBD gel. It's a big bottle because it's for school, okay, to refill. But a medium consistency gel, you'll notice I can pour this, right? I'm a pro, baby. I've been using this shit for too long, all right? It will pour. It's kind of like syrup, like a molasses almost, okay? So this right here can self-level, and you'll notice if I can pour it and move it, but if I sit it down for a while, it will smooth out, okay? So then that leads me to the thick consistency gel, and that's why I said when you see this one, you'll know that I brought the wrong one. You see? Oh, I opened up the wrong one. This is a thick builder gel, and it's not leveling. It's still got the dip marks in it where I dug down into this gel, okay? So that lets you know that this is a what consistency? Thick, okay? But we say this is thick. They got one thicker than this, thick like me, okay? Thick like me, baby, okay? And that's your acrogels, okay? Your polygels, okay? There ain't nothing thicker than a polygel, all right? So when I squeeze this out of the tube, feels so much better. Yeah, pretty much.
haven't played with polygel yet.
Yeah, like that's thick, baby. That's thick like me. It ain't moving. This fat don't jiggle. Okay? So, you get it? All right, so you got your thin, and then you got your medium, then you got your thick, and then you got your thick like Miss Mary, okay? All right, maybe that'll suck back down in there. That's what she said. Let's see if it'll go. I don't know. We'll play with it later, see what it does. All right, she said that too. Okay.
You're on a roll tonight.
I love talking about gel. It's my favorite. All right, so we got the viscosity out the way. So now let's move along to the word photo initiator. What does that word mean? Well, if we break it up, right? If we break it up, we've got photo and then initiator. We talked about what initiators are, right? They are what start something, right? We initiated. So the photo, what do we need to get a good photo?
Light.
Right? So a photo initiator is a molecule that creates a reaction that when it's exposed to UV or visible light is going to cause it to cure. Right? So that's what we need. And those oligomers that are in the gel, when it's applied to the nail and exposed to that light, it's gonna harden. So you need the oligomers in there. Then you also need that photo initiator molecule to help it come together and cure. That's the chemistry of it. That's all I got to say about it. Okay? Because when it comes to chemistry, it's not my favorite thing to explain, but this is the easiest way I can explain how gel works. Okay? Now, polymerization, we talked about polymerization in all forms of nails, right? That's when the links come together. And so these oligomers come together and they create that solid chemical resistant material in some cases. What do I mean by chemical resistant? Some gels are chemical resistant. What does that mean? Because they want to use all these big ass words. What does that mean?
Because it's not with the water is go away. You have to use a specific acetone, specific stuff.
Mm-hmm. So basically, some gels, to break that down, is that you can't soak them off. They're resistant to chemicals, and water is a chemical. You guys, did y'all know that? H2O. Believe it or not. So, when we talk about gel being superior to acrylic, those are the reasons why. Okay? Your gel, especially if it's hard gel, nothing can penetrate it. Okay? So when we think about that, let's think about people who may benefit from the use of gel versus acrylic. Anybody who has their hands in water all day. Okay? Anybody that has their hands in water all day. So, for instance, this is a great time to bring up a way that I help you remember this. Good evening. So, acrylic is very similar to concrete. Okay? Let's think about it. Right now, it's pouring down rain. And we've got a street out there. It's toe up as it is. There is concrete out there. And what happens to that water over time? It seeps down into that concrete. And how do we know that? Well, because that concrete gets old. We have to repave it over time, don't we? Get new concrete, get new blacktop, everything's fresh. You can tell this road is very, very old. Okay? So gel, on the other hand, would be like having glass streets. Water just bounce right off of it. Can't go in it, just slides off the side. Just nothing can penetrate it. To include water and acetone. Okay, now when we're talking about hard gel here, hard gel, very different than soft gel. Okay, so everybody understand what a photo initiator is, an oligomer, viscosity, cure, those words.
Yep.
Great. Excellent. Now, gel polish formulas are very easy to soak off, okay? And they are applied in layers, just like regular polish. Isn't it? We got our gel polish, we got our base coat, one coat of polish, two coat of polish, then our top coat. Very similar to regular polish, correct? Okay. Now, you're also going to get an exothermic reaction from gel. Anybody ever had gel nails, just gel polish? And you're like, damn, that burn. I felt it all the time. I don't know why I turned that on me like that. It's your lamp. Okay. Now we discussed there are ways to control the heat, right? Going in and out, we're doing our flash cure, all right? And we don't have to do that with my lamp. But that we've already discussed why that is a bad feeling. I know the burn is something people expect, but it should not. You should not be feeling the burn. Okay, the burn is not good. Now, my favorite part. What is the difference between LED and UV light? Okay, LED and UV light. Will you please hand those out? I made this. Now I spend all my time rewriting my curriculum, but I made this nice little sheet for you guys. And it explains the difference between, and I made one for you and one for me. Thank you. So we can follow along. You got new hair color. I do. It's purpley, kind of burgundy-ish brown.
Plummy.
It's plum. There you go.
Plummy.
It's plum. All right. So I have this nice little sheet here that I made for my students. And it will explain some of the differences between UV light cured gels and LED light cured gels. But let's start here. Let's talk about the lamps themselves, okay? So, gel curing lamps. What is it? It is a specialized electronic device that controls the bulbs and powers them to cure gel nail enhancement. And they come in so many different forms, so many different shapes, and I have a few here. What you do?
Yep.
Just do this thing. Okay. Squoze it out. It comes out like,
jelly.
Gel poop. Okay. So there's several different types of lights. I brought a few to include mine. All right. That is new, and Morgan bought one. We only have 5 left in stock. I have to order some more.
So excited.
I was like, oh, when I went live about that, I was like, yes, that's where I got a lamp. Let's look at these different types of lamps here. Okay, so will you hand me that one? Yep, that's the one I want before I show them. Oh, your nails are pretty.
Thank you.
Did you sculpt those? Oh. Excuse me.
No, unfortunately.
Well, mine aren't sculpted either, so. All right. It's all right. So, most bulbs are going to emit a violet light color, okay? Most, all right? And when we talk about a violet light color, oh, let me back up some. Jeez. Okay, thank you. That's good. Here we go. That's what I mean. This color, like a purpley, bluish kind of color, okay? And that will be either with LED or UV, okay? It could be, and nowadays they make them in all kinds of colors. My light gives off a pink color, which I think is just so cute. Now, these curing lamps, they might look similar, like this one looks similar to this one over here, right? But they are very, very much different, and you need to know how to spot the difference, okay? How do we know the difference? All right, now, the types of bulbs and the number of bulbs, number one, is the difference, one of the differences that you need to be able to recognize. So in this case, we have a LED bulb here. This one emits LED, and this is my favorite little tool for when I'm doing gel X, because I can press my nail on, and then I can push it under there and turn it on, do a little flash cure, turn it on, make it stick, and then throw it in the lamp real quick. I love this little thing, and it is portable and rechargeable. Don't ask me where I got it from. Oh, the show. Someone was selling it at the show years ago, and I got that then. All right, so the different types of bulbs. So you got your LED bulbs, and this is in particular an LED bulb, okay? What does LED stand for? Anybody want to look on their little sheet and tell me? What does LED stand for? Light emitting diode. Oh, that's fancy. Okay. And what does ultraviolet stand for? I mean, damn. UV stands for ultraviolet, okay? Now, where else do we get ultraviolet light from outside of this light, this bulb? The sun, okay? The sun. So, what does an ultraviolet bulb look like? Well, here you go. These are what ultraviolet bulbs look like. And this is an old school light. I like to call this light Old Faithful. Okay? Old Faithful. She works no matter what. And what do I mean by that? Well, look at your little sheet. What are the pros of using UV lamps?
Cures LED and UV.
If for somebody who don't do pedicures, that's the reason why. The pedicure stuff is right there behind the chair. You got the stuff you need to do the pedicure. Yeah. You have nail clippers. You got a cuticle pusher. You got all that stuff inside that bag. That's pre-made. The one behind the chair. Well, you need to wipe it down. Yeah. All right. So what was the pros to it? Can cure anything. It can cure any gel, whether it is LED, UV, acrogel, whatever. Right? The only con to it, though, is you've got to replace the bulbs. You have to cure the product for a lot longer, right? It will say, usually on the instructions, it will say 2 minutes. I can't see this, okay? 2 minutes in a UV lamp, 30 seconds in an LED, okay? So you have to read the instructions because there is a such thing as over curing, okay? So these are the bulbs, and so this is old school. Like you can literally get these lamps for like $20. Okay. The only problem with it is the bulbs need to be replaced, and the bulbs are $20 a piece. Okay. So this can get pretty expensive when it comes to maintenance. However, I like to keep one around because there are still polishes out there that are UV only. Oh, like who? Let me show you. I have a whole collection of polishes that are UV only. And let me tell you, this is probably the most beautiful polish you'll ever see.
It's very pigmented too.
This right here is it's called Hypernova polish. You guys probably can't see how pretty it is in the video.
It looks like little,
but it's like it's I'll pass it around. This is a UV only, okay, by Crystal Nails. And I have the whole collection, and you gotta keep a UV lamp around, okay? However, nowadays they make hybrid lamps, which do both. This one does both.
I see before.
Oh, she's seen Crystal Nails, I know, because Crystal Nails is a European brand. Just hold on to it for me. Okay. So, how many bulbs do we have in my lamp? Well, let's take a look. 52 bulbs. This one has 52 bulbs total. If you want to count them, you go right ahead. I'm just going to listen to what my manufacturer told me. Plus, what I love about this one is it has these bulbs on the side for the thumb and the pinky. Absolutely. So, and for when you're doing toes, you can prop this up and it'll catch the little sides of the nails and stuff like that. Hello, welcome. How are you? You want to see it now? Oh, she was like, why is it so expensive? Oh, be careful with it. It's very expensive. How are you? Nice to meet you. This is our lovely student here. Her grandmother has come to see us to get it. She did say grandmother, right? Okay, I just want to make sure. You never know. People look so young these days. All right, so to get a pedicure, so you see, isn't it nice? Yeah. Yes. It has a lot of different bulbs in there. The more bulbs, the better. The more bulbs, the better. She ordered one. She's waiting on hers to get here. Okay, so the power of your light is typically going to be by the amount of bulbs you have as well as the wattage. Okay, so they have bulbs that only lights these UV lamps like this. It was $149, but it's $249. But I'll give you the sale price if you want one. Okay, because I only have 4 or 5 left in stock. I gotta order some more. If you order one, I can order some more. Okay, so how many bulbs are in here? Well, this one has 4. But you can find bulbs that maybe has 6, right? So if they tell you that each bulb is 6 watts, and you have 4 of them, then it's only how many watt bulb? 24 watts, right? So it just depends on how your wattage with this will tell you is in the bulbs. Okay. Whereas my power is coming from, it also has watts, but those are being spread out between those LED bulbs. Okay. And so LED lamps, the great thing about them is they last damn near forever. They literally do. They last so long. You don't have to change the bulbs, right? And with my light, the great feature is that it has a replaceable battery. That's pretty cool. So you have to unscrew it to get to it, but you see the little screw there? Yes, you can buy, if the battery for some reason starts to go bad, instead of buying a whole new lamp, you can just order a new battery. Just go to Batteries Plus and take the old one, and they will give you a new one. Okay, guarantee you can find, and I may even see if I can find some replacements and have them on hand for people if they want to buy. Because I can also get this lamp in black. I haven't thought about that yet. I can also get it in black, but
No glitter?
no glitter, no Miss Italy, no, y'all. It's white, okay?
I like white.
No, I'm just kidding.
Pretty.
I'm just kidding.
I like black more.
All right.
White's good.
Right. White is my thing. I like stuff to look clean and white, because that lamp, if it gets dirty, the first thing I do is wipe that thing down, right? All right. So now let's talk about cure times when it comes to LED versus gel. We said gel has we've got UV, LED. LED usually is less curing time than UV. And why is that? I want you guys to look on your sheet again. One of the things you need to pay attention to is the wavelengths, okay? The wavelengths here. A UV light has anywhere from 320 to 400 nanometers. Okay, that's what NM stands for, nanometers. Okay? And then the LED has anywhere from 365 to 405. So basically what that's saying here is that the LED is more powerful when it comes to the nanometers or the light range that's coming out of that light. So that's why it can cure it so much faster than a UV. Okay. Now, this is something I want you to understand though. Just because I'm using an LED polish that says it cures in 30 seconds, if all I have is a UV lamp, how long do I have? Because remember, this will cure anything. But how long does that 30-second LED polish have to be in this lamp? 2 to 3 minutes. Just because you're using a better polish or a faster curing polish does not mean that this light can cure it in 30 seconds. Okay? Now, with my lamp, which is a hybrid lamp, it has UV and LED ability to cure, right? Mm-hmm. So if I come out and I bust out that crystal nails gel, and you have my lamp, how many minutes does it need to be in my lamp? 2 to 3. Even though that's a hybrid lamp that does both, it doesn't make it all of a sudden a super lamp that can just do it, change the UV gel polish into LED, right? Mm-hmm. So you make sure you know your products and what they actually are and how they can be cured. Okay, this is where school is not a scam, at least not this one. Okay, now LED is now more common. You're not going to be able to find regular UV gel polishes just everywhere, right? But they do still make them. Okay, and then also make sure you know the product. It's very important to these brands like not Beatles. But these big brands out here, they offer education. They offer that education not just on their websites, but they'll have private classes that you can go to, or little, all types of online courses. Please take advantage of those if you can. Now, Let's talk about the various types of gels utilized in today's systems. Well, I put up here Tammy Taylor Sculpt. Let me get my big head out of the way. Boop, boop. There we go. Tammy Taylor Sculpt, which y'all know how much I love Tammy Taylor. Anything she has, I'm buying it. Okay. But in her case, this is an acrogel, right? She has an acrylic gel hybrid system. You guys, polygel, acrogel, hybrid gel, all of those are the same thing. Okay. They are just different brand names. All right. You've got, they just called their nail extension gel. They didn't even call it anything. Whatever. McCart, and then they're a brand that you guys love on Amazon. Gelish is polygel. Tammy Taylor's is Sculpt. Okay, mine that will be here any day. I'm excited. Is acrogel. It's an acrogel. I just called it acrogel because I ain't fancy like that. I care more about the education than anything, right? But you guys also need to just be aware that some of these polygels are hard gels. Okay, some of them I heard that from my understanding, all polygels were hard gels. But someone told me on live the other day, they were like, "No, they have a soak off." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I didn't know that. But hard gels will also be known as traditional gels. Okay, if someone old school says traditional gel, they're talking about hard gel or builder gels and ones that have to be filed off. Now, hard gels are, and this is the reason why I didn't understand why they have an acrogel that is soak off, because hard gels are meant for building nail extensions. Okay, you can extend the nail with a hard gel. You cannot extend the nail with a soft gel. Okay, why? I mean, it makes sense. It's too soft.
Yeah, hard gel is hard, but
think about it. Gel polish is a soft gel, isn't it? Because it can be soaked off. It's flexible. Polygel, so not polygel, but Gel X. When you do Gel X nails, which mine are Gel X. Okay, I did the Gel X adhesion gel and all that. And when you cure that Gel X gel, if you were ever to just test it, cure it, and then peel it off like of whatever you cured it on, it's still bendable. Okay, so I don't know. Soft gels, if they have a soft gel, hybrid gel or aquagel system, I haven't heard of it. Mine is going to be a hard gel. Gonna have to soak that stuff off. I just feel like it's the way it's supposed to be. But anyway, so soft gels can be soaked off. And this can also replace traditional polish in your gels. Okay, now bonding gels. What is a bonding gel? You'll hear a bonding gel. You'll hear foundation gel. You'll hear base gel. Okay, but they're all basically the same premise behind them. They are basically your primer or your base coat. Okay, it helps with the adhesion. Okay, it is necessary in most cases. Most products will have their own bonding gel. There are some products that do not require a bonding gel or a base gel. Okay, for instance, Gel X, they tell you just to use a layer of their adhesion gel, cure it, and then use the adhesion gel, build it up, and lay it right on there. No bonding gel necessary. Okay, but just again, know your products and know what you need and what you don't need. Now, sometimes you don't need a primer when you use a bonding gel. It just depends on the system. Again, know your system. These vary in viscosity. That means that some bonding gels are thick, some base gels like rubber bases are thick versus some that are as thinner than polish. Okay, just depends on the brand. Some have very small brushes, just like it would be if you were using a primer, right? It just depends. And more than likely, if it is a bonding gel, it will need to be cured. Okay, I have not run across one that does not need to be cured. Everybody still with me? All right. Builder gels. Builder gels are quite literally just that. It's what you're going to use to build the strength of the nail, create that arch, and also an extension. Okay, you cannot use regular gel polish to build an extension. I don't care how many layers you make it, it's just gonna be a little bendy, rubbery thingy thing, right? So you want to have a hard gel. Like I said, I don't know any soft gel builder gels, but if they're out there, someone please introduce me to one. They enhance the thickness of the nail, and these can sometimes be done in layers. All right. I will tell you this: hard gel, if it is a builder gel, a lot of times the nails will look crazy before they look good. They look worse, like bad in the beginning, but then you make a mess kind of building it up. But then once you get it leveled out, it looks great. You want to make sure each layer is cured. If it is a gel that has a very dark color to it, for instance, this is a white builder gel. How do you know that it is a white builder gel? The color and the viscosity. You see, it ain't moving. Okay. When you apply this, it literally looks like icing. Like you can't get it to lay smooth. So you have to do things in layers, or you'll end up with a middle of it that's kind of. I've done this before, and I know that there are DIY nail techs out here that are doing this, and they're wondering why their fingernails are literally falling off. Okay, you cannot walk around with uncured gel on your natural nail plate for very long at all before that nail starts to turn to mush. It's happened to me. Okay, you've got to be very careful with these gels that are very thick in viscosity. You've got to lay them in. They require longer cure time and thinner layers, multiple layers. Okay, or you're going to end up with your nails being destroyed. Okay, now they typically come in a pot like this, but they also now come in a squeezy tube like this. Okay, just depends on what your flavor of the day. Okay, polymer gels, again, poly gels, thick viscosity. They're usually in tubes. They're also builder gels, and they come in so many colors nowadays. I thought it was just pink and whites and clear. Now you can get them just like you can get acrylic colors. Okay. Me personally, I'm spending my money on glitter. Again, I'll put the polish on top or the color on top. I don't need all them colors. Save your money. Now, these do require maintenance every 2 weeks, just like any other product. They need to be filled in, refilled, all that good stuff. And removal is done by filing. You've got to file this stuff off. All right, you got to file it off, and you got to be careful with it. Now, we all know about pigmented gels or soft gels. We talked about that. This is our Valentino full line that you can buy. I stole their picture off the internet. Thank you. And these can also be, back in the day, gel polish was hard gel. Back in the day when all you had it was in a pot, you had to mix it and put it on, and it was a hard gel. It had to be soaked off. So soak off gels are fairly new in the nail world. Gel is fairly new, but soak off gels are even more new. Okay. Now, again, they used to be hard gels. You had to file them off. Now it is an alternative to your traditional lacquers. Obviously, they come in a wide variety of colors, and then they're removed by soaking in acetone. Now, when we're removing gel polish on our enhancements, y'all, unless it's a gel nail, we're not going to remove it with acetone, are we? I know people ask me that. I kind of assume that people know that you take gel polish off with acetone, but you would not soak off the gel polish if you have acrylic on your nails. It's going to make the nails melt too, right? So we obviously use an e-file or a hand file, just for clarity. Okay. Oh, I put mine up there.
Hey,
finishing gels, yes.
That's the ultra coat? Okay.
Yeah, that's my top coat, and I have one more bottle left, but another bottle of 600 are on the way. Not 600, 60. I mean,
it said you were sold out online.
Yeah, because I only have one bottle left, and I was like, let me just shut it down. Because they're on the way with the acrogels together, so it's in the box together, and they should be here with the lights, all of that. But our finishing gels are going to be our top coats, right? And our top coats come in so many different forms too now. What different types of top coats do we have? I can think of three off the top of my head.
With the white, do you have anything off the little sticky stuff?
Okay, so what she said was this non-white. I know what you're saying, but the people on the internet don't. They're like, what'd she say? So the inhibition layer, which is the tacky layer, right? So you've got non-wipe and wipe, okay, top coats. But outside of non-wipe and wipe, we also have matte top coat, shiny top coat. We've got top coat now that has glitter already in it. We've got like what? Glow in the dark. I was just about to say glow in the dark top coat. We've got top coats that I want to say a Prey just came out one that had there's like 6 different shades of top coat that has like a shimmer to it. All it is, you should just put chrome on the nails, honey. Stop buying all these products you don't need. Buy glitter. But they just came out with one that's like 6 different shades. They're like a duo chrome top coat to put on top of just too much extra stuff. They just do anything to get money, honey. But they've got gloss matte. What is gloss matte? Okay, that's new. Gloss matte. Almost matte. Maybe that's like a well, my matte. I call mine velvet matte. Velvet, yeah. But I don't know. They've got so many different types of top coats now, right? But you are correct. They do have non-wipe and then wipe or tack free or inhibition or the kind with the inhibition layer. Okay, so several different types of top coats. Now let's talk about some supplies that you need to use gel, because you're not going to use a brush like you use with acrylic. Okay, it's going to be very different. Now, first of all, you need your gel curing lamp. We know that. We also need an application brush, and there's several different. These are the type. This is what you're going to get today, okay? Because you guys always mess up your brush, and this one is, the cheaper one that I don't mind you messing up. But the most brushes are going to be made when it comes to UV and LED brushes that you can use with gel are going to be made out of a nylon or some type of canacolon or not human hair or animal hair or any type of hair. It's a synthetic brush, okay? So this is what you guys will get today. And you're also going to need a bonding gel or the gel primers if they require it, okay? And then your builder gel and then your finishing gel, which is a top coat, right? Oh, no. You're not going to need that today. Okay. Not today. Now, also nail tips and forms if you're going to be extending, but we can also do overlays on gel with gel, right? Which is what you're going to be doing today, is just overlaying. We're not going to be building anything out, which you can after today's class. And you guys have actually experienced using gel. Once you guys become seniors, you can put gel on top of sculpting forms. You can put it on top of tips. You can do all of that. We're going to need cleanser. And what is a nail cleanser generally? Alcohol. Okay, I make my own cleanser, which is 2 parts alcohol, 1 part acetone. So whatever you're mixing with, 2 cups of alcohol, 1 cup of acetone. That acetone tends to make it dry it out a little bit and get all, just for some reason it just gives you that squeaky squeak clean that you want. Okay. But you could use 99.9% alcohol if you want to as a cleanser. Now, if you want to make it real fancy and make it look like young nails, put a little splash of blue food coloring in it. Okay, because y'all buying all that stuff for no reason. Buy glitter. You're going to need abrasive files and buffers. Okay. Now with gel, remember gel, even though it's called hard gel, it's a much softer product. What do I mean by that? Because Eleanor's like, yeah, it is. So what do I mean by that, Eleanor? It's a softer product.
It's beautiful because you creation whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. It's so much easier to file is what I mean. Yeah. It's soft. She said it's like butter. Yeah. So it's softer. It's easier to file. It's you're not going to spend all your muscles trying to file if it's too thick. Like you would acrylic, man. I always say lay acrylic like you don't have a file, because boy, you have to file forever, and then you just run out of energy. Whereas gel, you got to be careful. Sometimes you don't even want to use an e-file on it because you'll file everything off before you know it. Okay, because it's such a soft product. Okay, doesn't mean it's weak. Okay, it's kind of like what do they say about secret deodorant strong enough for a man? but made for a woman. Yeah, pH balance, blah blah blah. This gel is strong. It's just, it's soft. It's softer product to work with. Okay. And then also lint-free wipes, because in the world of nail technicians, lint is not your friend. I don't care what you're working with. You're working with. Only reason I like to use cotton balls is with regular polish, because you really need to get a lot of acetone in that cotton ball to get all that polish off. But any other time, Ms. Mary going to use a lint-free wipe. Okay, and when it comes to gel, you definitely want to use lint-free wipes. Okay. Chris said something. He pointed out something in the live. With hard gel, you really don't need anything over 180 grit, and that is very true. And 180 grit is my and when it comes to my tips and my files, is like a buffer almost, and you can literally file it into shape. Okay, so how do we store, use, and remove gels in the salon? Well, first let's talk about storing it. All right, you guys will notice my gels, if you come to my house where all my stuff is, you will not see a bottle of gel nowhere, because I keep them where? In the drawers. Okay, where no sun, no heat, no nothing can get to it, no light. Okay, so I keep my gels because I care about my gels. I don't care about y'all's gels because y'all don't care about them. They're over there just chilling on the wall. They're just catching on fire. All right, but I keep mine in a drawer so that they won't get accidentally cure on you. Okay, gelish back in the day, and you guys will see there's some gelish bottles up there. They made a mistake when they first came out with their first bottle. They had a little heart on the front opening, and over time, because I have some bottles that have not survived the gel pop, they're still up there because I haven't checked them lately. But over time, that little bitty window, cause those gels to cure. Okay, so you'll notice that now you will very hard pressed to find bottles that have any opening where you can see the actual color. Okay, even if, and this is something I tell you guys all the time: stop leaving your products and your bags in your car, because heat is going to change the chemical makeup of it. So if you guys do leave now that you're getting gel today, don't leave it in the car. You may not be able to open it next week. Okay, you definitely don't. If you can even open the top, okay. Be very careful. Just the heat from the car can cure it, not just the light, okay? Or it will change the way it works. All right. So your brushes also, you guys are going to get a little container. I would just be very careful about making sure that brush does not also get exposed to light. Okay, that's one, but not just the light, but also out in this is an LED light, you guys. I have had these gel lamps, these gel brushes cure just from the LED light sitting out with them sticking up in the air like that. You got to be very careful, okay? So, and you just don't know what UV light is hitting, if you sit next to a window or something like that, okay? Always make sure your gel bottle remains closed when you're not using it. Again, this is an LED light. Okay, it will slowly cure it. Not to mention, when you're filing and buffing, you don't want any of those file buffer and all that stuff getting inside of your gel. None of those filings, okay? Because that won't be nice and smooth when it levels. All right, now we talked about heat spikes and how to prevent those. All right, or either you have a lamp that has a low temperature mode. You don't want to apply too much product. Like Eleanor said earlier, if you apply a lot of gel at one time, you put it in that light, it's going to heat up on you, and you're going to feel that spike just like you would when you're applying a big blob of acrylic on like a thumb or something like that. Now, you'll notice what she's doing in this photograph here. Okay, what she's doing in this photo, or anyway, is what's known as floating the bead. Okay, she's put a bead onto the nail, and you use the brush to kind of guide the product where you want it to go. Laying gel is not like laying acrylic. Okay. Yes, dear.
Sometimes in Italy you turn on the hands
Mm-hmm.
for more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So sometimes in Italy, they turn their hands over. I'm just repeating what you said. And the gel, and they will just move the gel, and it creates the apex, right? Mm-hmm. So that's one way. And I mean, I've done gel nails with a marbling tool. You don't even need a brush, really. You can use a stick to apply it. You can use it. I mean, I've even seen with polygel, they use orange wood sticks with polygel. Okay, so alcohol or acetone to as a slip solution, right? So using gel is very forgiving. Acrylic, not so much. Acrylic is like you got 30 seconds. 30 seconds to get it on the nail and put it in the shop. You don't have time to play. Whereas gel, you have an eternity. You have a lifetime. And it doesn't cure until you put it in the light. So I don't understand why nail techs are so afraid of it, because it's such a forgiving product. Okay. I think it's just fear of, not knowing how to use something. Okay. And then there's also stringing the bead. So you may also see, and I will show you guys today what stringing the bead and floating the bead is. You pick up some of the gel and you literally it's string. And then you're going to string it everywhere you need it and never even touch the nail with the brush. Okay. That's called stringing the bead. It's very similar to floating the bead, but just a little bit different. But I will demonstrate that. Now, we talked about how you remove it. You got to soak it off. When it comes to even gel polish, usually your top coat is a hard gel. And what do I mean by that? It can't just be so. Right. You can't just go, okay, take my nails, for example. Let me just put a cotton ball soaked with acetone and wrap it. What do I need to do first? I've got to file and open up that layer so that the acetone can get in. Okay. So, not too much. Not too much. Because if you do too much,
you have a damager.
You'll have a damager. Okay? I'm gonna be able to fake being an Italian before you know it. Watch. I like my accents. Okay. So hard gels, they must be filed off, but you want to leave a thin layer. If your nail is a full gel nail made of hard gel, you don't want to file down to the natural nail. You're going to damage that nail plate. Just leave a little thin layer and apply gel right on top of it, or acrylic on top, whatever you're going to do. Never file it completely off, all right? Whereas soft gels can be removed with acetone or some type of removal. Now, when are we going to use gel services? We talked about this when we've got clients who are maybe nurses, or maybe, I don't know, people that just can't they have their hands in water a lot, washing their hands a lot. Maybe they're in food service. Using gel versus an acrylic might be better because it will last longer for them, right? And then also, you may want to ask your client, how long do you plan on wearing these nails? Because it might be a special occasion, right? So if it's a special occasion and I know that this client is not going to come back, she's not going to come back. She thinks she can do, get it off herself. So it's something simple that can be easily soaked off, right? Like a Gel-X application, they can soak that off themselves with acetone, right? Or even a gel polish. But if the client is planning on wearing them for a long time, you may want to consider hard gel, right? Because that'll last longer, okay? What length does the client want? Because if they want really, really long nails, like really, really long nails, you might not want to do gel at all. Hard gel will you can extend them out, but if you're talking extendos way out here, I don't know that I'd want to put gel on there unless they're sculpted and they're like super strong. I've seen them done very beautifully when it comes to like competitions and stuff like that with gel, but for long-term wear, probably not. I probably would do acrylic, but that's just, again, that's a preference. And also, does your client often have a lot of lifting? Which one do you think you may want to try? Gel or acrylic? What did we say about gel having an amazing adhesion? Okay. And that's also because it's impenetrable, right? Nothing can get through it. So if you don't have to worry about water soaking into it and stuff like that. So again, how does your client experience lifting often? I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but I use sometimes a sandwich technique. Okay. I have clients that don't want to wear gel because of the price, but they have lifting issues. So I may use a rubber base on their nail and then apply acrylic right on top of it. Gel is just, the adhesion is just superior. Okay. So, and you can mix the two. Why can you? I mean, don't they make a polygel? What is that? Y'all know back in the day, before I knew better, I used to make my own polygel by mixing liquid gel and acrylic powder together like a icing. I mean, I don't recommend doing that at all. Never mix chemicals. But I mean, back in the day when I was young and dumb and, I used to do all kind of crazy stuff. And I just don't recommend doing that now because obviously I know better, chemistry and all that stuff. You end up with all types of sensitivities when you mix chemicals. But we used to do it. And you can make your own polygel colors and stuff. Again, don't, but you can. And so, buy glitter. I don't even know where I was going with that.
With the rubber base, and you
I know you were kind of like, what? I can do that?
When you put the rubber base on, do we need to take like the shiny layer off, like buff it before you put the acrylic on top of it?
You can. I mean, it's advisable, but you don't have to. But I just say always wipe the tacky layer because that is like uncured gel, just kind of laying there. But yeah, you can wipe it. And you don't even have to. I mean, I would buff it. You don't have to etch it and do it, but just buff it. Yeah, and then put the acrylic on there. Yeah, I've done it where I didn't even wipe the tacky layer off. I mean, to be honest with you, and it worked just fine.
I would think the tacky layer would make the acrylic stick even more.
It works. You can do it. It can be done. All right. So to close off, this is I have only 2 more slides here. You may want to ask, when will the polish be removed? If the client is going to come back, if they do want to make it last longer, to make sure that they know they shouldn't be peeling their gel polish off. What? No, please don't peel your gel.
Oh, I'm helping you.
I'm helping you. Yeah, your nails are now 3 layers, 4 layers thinner. Okay. We only got how many? She's like, what? How many layers of nail do we have?
So many.
How many?
3.
Oh, Jesus Christ. 50 or less, right? Layers, the nail plate.
Oh!
Yeah, she got confused. It's okay. The nail plate. 50 layers or less. So if the client's trying to help us and they're peeling, now we only got 48. Now we got 40, 43. This nail has 30 because she done ripped it off, right? And then they got to come back and get manicure after manicure until that nail goes, right? So, does the client have fragile nails? If they have fragile nails, obviously, you can do either one, acrylic or gel. And does that client damage polish after service? Do you have a client that every time you do their nails, they walk out and go, girl, look what I did. That's what I used to do all the time. Back when it was regular polish, not gel. You'd sit there for 2 hours and just like this under the little thing. And then you go outside and you boom, hit your hand on the door. And then you come back in and say, can you fix it? Mm-hmm. Nope. Sorry. Come back next week. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So now you guys should have a clear understanding of the chemistry, right? We talked about that. We also talked about the difference between UV gel and LED gel. You guys have this to help you remember. Different types of gel and this supplies as well as storage, use, and removal. So you guys feel good about gel?
Yes.
All right. So let me show you what you're going to do today.
Yes.
Okay. She's like, yes. 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 Okay. That's why I hated regular lacquer. Ooh, hated it. So you guys are going to get a container of this. and she can go ahead and give you that, Shayla. And now I brought some clear tips, and again, you guys still have the sticks. We still have our, our nails or whatever. But I did bring some of these because I'm going to demonstrate to you guys so that you can see. And if you are on the TikTok live, you need to click the link in my bio so it will take you to our YouTube so that you can see what's going on here. Someone said on YouTube, I thought it was 100 layers. Girl, not in 2024.
You might get 30.
Not in 2024. You're lucky to get 50 the way we eat and the way we act. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my little. So again, if you're on TikTok, all I'm asking for, you don't even have to pay. I just want your email address so I can email you. Email list is priceless, y'all. Priceless, priceless. And I need my gloves. I think I've got to. Oh, I don't know if I've said this during our live, but you guys know you have to wear gloves when you're using gel. Please. Please. Use gloves. And why is that?
Because you don't want to have the dermatology stuff.
The dermatology stuff. That's right. We do not want that. Okay. So, will you give me one of those gel brushes? I'm going to demonstrate with the same thing they have. Okay. So, you guys have this UV gel brush. It is a nylon brush. Nothing fancy schmancy. Okay. Oh, and my lamp. I need my lamp.
You too. So schmancy.
Did I show you guys the features of it? It has a handle. It has a recharge hole right there. And it comes with what you need to recharge it. It has...
promo part.
This is the promo part. It has a pink light. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Oh, you guys can't see that. Sorry. I'm showing you guys.
I can see it.
I see.
60 second, 30 second, 10 second, and your low temperature mode for your flash curing purposes. And what I really like about it is here is it's got how much charge does it have? I can't tell y'all how many times I've had a light. It tells me I've got 100%.
Have you charged it since you used it?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not charged it since I opened it. It comes fully charged. Okay. So I'm going to turn this. Now, when you guys are practicing, and because this is turned towards me, okay, when you are practicing, obviously when you're doing a client, it's turned the opposite way, right? When you're practicing, this is going to be turned towards you. So you need to be very careful because this is what you students do to me all the time. You say, Miss Mary, I need another brush. Like I got 500 brushes back there just waiting for you to need another one, right? Because you put your gel right or your brush right here in front of it on accident. You turn the light on. You got your gel pot right here in front of it. You turn the light on, and now everything is cured and stuck together, and now you need a new one. Okay? So be very, very conscious about where you're putting your gel products and also your gel your gel brush. Okay? This right here, this is right here is just a little handle for your e-file, and if you have one of my e-files, it comes with it, but I never used it. Who uses that? I put my e-file in like this.
Yeah, I have one and I don't use it either.
Right? So what do I use it for?
You have a U brand.
I do.
She has her own brand, her own e-file.
You see it every day when you walk in. It's in that little cabinet right in the front, and right when you clock in, everything is right there. She didn't even see it. I have everything, honey. Honey, everything, honey.
Yeah, I see front, but I don't see.
I have e-file too.
How much?
$169, and then you get a 20% discount.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't use this comes with it, right? The little rest, right? I use it for my brushes. So much smarter, right? Okay, now I'm going to use a little plastic tip, okay, just because it's easier than me trying to get one of them sticks together for y'all. Now, what do I need to do to this tip before, as far as prep is concerned? What do I need to do? We need to buff it, file it, right? Go ahead and get our shape in there. If we're doing a tip, do all that good stuff. And this is a perfect example, you guys will see that if you do not etch this tip and you put gel on top of it, it goes away. She said it goes away. It will peel right like bloop in one piece. Okay, so you very much must etch a nail when it comes to gel. Period. The tips. Okay, when you're applying tips, you must buff and etch the entire nail. Okay, so let me move this over some just so you guys can see good. Move my head out the way. We'll move it over here. Boom. There's two heads. Okay.
You have his plate. Oh, that's because of the camera.
It does that because it don't do that. It doesn't flicker. It doesn't even flicker on TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's weird, but it doesn't flicker. It's flickering on there though. Okay, so I'm going to use my buffer. This is a 180 grit buffer, okay? And I'm just going to prepare my tip by etching it completely, okay? Now, because this is not a human and it is a plastic tip, we do not need to use a foundation gel. We do not, or a base gel or anything like that. But to reiterate, when do we use base gels? Thank you, instructor.
She beat me to it.
She like, I'm in class today. I don't remember this. I'm about to make sure I know. She already got her license. She's like, I'm about to tell you. Okay. Students.
What did she say?
When? She like what she said. When do we use a base? Because this is a question I get all the time. And like, Miss Mary, I got this. I put base on an acrylic nail or a gel nail and then 2 layers of polish. No. You never need to have base on top of a gel nail or an acrylic nail that you have made an enhancement or made it longer or even an overlay. Base is only for the natural nail. So you can skip it. Right? Okay. Natural nails only. And no, I know that they sell you the base and the top together, right? They give you the duo. Sometimes they give you the base gel and the top gel. D&D will do, right? But so because you're a very intelligent, well-rounded, well-trained nail tech, if you say to me, Miss Mary, I never do natural nails. I only do acrylic. Do you need to buy the duo? No. Just buy the top coat by itself. Correct?
Yeah.
Save the money and buy glitter. Yes. See, I love it. I love it when the plan comes together. This is how I know y'all listening to me. Okay? So, because this is a fake nail, I don't need to put a base. But because I am pretending for you guys, I'm going to put a base. You guys do not have a base. You only have this.
Right.
Okay? So I'm going to pull out a base here. And this is D&D base. Okay? This is base gel. So what we would do if we were about to do an let's just say the client has a nice natural long nail like this and she wants an overlay of gel. Okay? We're not doing an extension. We're doing an overlay of gel. So what I do is I'm going to etch this client's nail. Go ahead and buff it, right? Cleanse it off. Use my cleanser. Wipe it off, right? And then the next step would be to use our dehydrator. Primer, if the product calls for it. Some are not going to require primer, especially if you're using a base. Just remember, follow the instructions of your product. So I'm going to use my base gel. So let me zoom in a bit because I know y'all want to see up close. Okay? Not that close. That, I can read this nail's mind. Okay. All right. So that's close enough, right? So I'm going in and I'm going to apply a thin layer. It does not need to be thick. Okay, of base. Now remember, one thing I want you guys to remember is that gel goes where gel is. What do I mean by that?
Wherever you put the gel, it stays the gel.
Wherever I put the gel, it stays the gel. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. I love it when she explains stuff, okay? So what she's saying is wherever I apply this gel, The next layer of gel, when I go to put another layer, if I got gel on the skin, then the next layer, guess where it's going to go? To the skin. So this is why you have to be very careful about where you apply the gel, especially the first layer. Okay? So be sure that there's no gel on the skin. Make sure that it is everywhere that you want it. If you miss a spot, this is why you need your lights. Because if you miss a spot, when you go in to float this bead, because I'm going to be floating these beads, you guys are going to see what I mean by floating the beads and why we don't really need a brush at all. That only time we need a brush is to apply this, okay? So I'm going to go in, and this is a 30-second cure, so I got it in my little light here, and I don't, because there's no finger attached, the sensor turned off. So I'm just going to hit the button. This has the feature of hit the button, turn on, or put it in, take it out to turn on, whichever one you choose.
Fantastic.
Fantastico.
Fantastica.
Fantastica. Okay, so 30 seconds, and it's counting down here, as you guys can see. You kind of can't, but there you go. It's counting down. All right. Now, this gel brush is very, very similar to your acrylic brush. Remember when you got it and it had that like sticky stuff? You're going to clean it by kind of just, see how I'm just kind of getting all that out. Now you can take a little acetone or alcohol, whichever, it doesn't matter, because it's not gonna melt your brush, right? If it's acetone, but try to keep acetone least amount of acetone on your nylon brushes as possible, just to get that adhesion off of there. Okay. She's so silly. All right. I love it when y'all start to open up. Lord. All right. Now here's my gel. This is, just so you guys again know, now let's look at it, because these come in different ways, different forms. This is sticky, so I want to be careful, so I'm just going to lay that there. This is a hard gel, okay? And this is IBD. It's also LED/UV clear gel. That means it can be cured in this lamp, either 30 seconds with a, cure for 30 seconds under LED lamp, or 1 minute under UV lamp. So because this is a hybrid lamp, how many seconds do I need to fully cure it?
60. 30. No?
I got two answers. Which one is it?
I'm going 30. Which one
What you going for? We're going to let you be the tiebreaker.
What's the question? Sorry.
The question was, this is a UV LED gel.
Yeah.
And this is a hybrid lamp.
Yeah.
And it says, so that means it'll cure both. It says to use, cure for 30 seconds under LED lamp, or 1 minute under UV lamp. 30 seconds. You don't need more than that. I mean,
For what?
for what? For why?
So,
Right?
30.
30 seconds. That's it. Okay, so that's what we're going with. Now, if this were Old Faithful, how many minutes would I have to cure it?
60.
A whole 60 seconds. Yes, 60. Okay. Now, we've got a tacky layer here. Don't touch it. And this is why when you're doing gel on people, you need to make sure that you explain to your clients that, and if they want to make it to the end of the appointment alive, not to touch nothing. Don't touch your phone. Don't go in the bag. Don't eat your face. Don't pick a booger. Don't scratch your butt. Don't do nothing. No, go to the bathroom. Sorry, do you need to pee? If you need to pee, go before. You need to go now, or forever hold your peace. Okay? All right. So this is tacky. That's that inhibition layer. Now, we don't want to disrupt that. If for some reason the client gets a piece of lint in it, because that's what happens. They touch their hair, or they touch their clothes, or they scratch, they get lint in it. What do we have to do? We have to clean it. And then we have to restart. Buff it, etch it, because slick to slick does not stick, especially with gel. Okay? So we either have that tacky layer, or we've got to buff. Or kill them. There you go. Okay? So explain to your clients. Now, so what I'm going to do is because I've got this tacky layer here. Remember, I want my gel to be able to move. So if I just pick up a big bead and lay it right on here right now, what do you think will happen? Disaster. It's just gonna, it might spread a little bit, but it's gonna look like a pancake, and eventually it's gonna stop. It's not gonna go all over the nail, right? It's not gonna move easily. So what I need to put down is a slip layer. So this is the one and only time, like I said, you're gonna use this as a brush, this first layer, okay? So I've picked up a very small amount of gel, very small amount, and notice that my gel is on top of my brush, not underneath. Let me zoom a little bit, okay? It's on top of the brush, not underneath, okay? And I'm going to brush this on literally like polish, right? And you'll notice it'll be streaky at first, and I can pick up a little bit more. That was a little bit, I need a little more. Apply it everywhere that it needs to go, okay? It will be streaky at first, but if I let it sit for a second, it will flatten out, okay? It will self-level, absolutely. And it's already done it. You see the lines are gone, okay? So now, this is what I want you to imagine a slip layer as, all right? If I pour water on my dry hardwood floor over there, right? It's going to be a puddle. Now, if I take another puddle right beside it, not touching it, they're two separate puddles. But then if I just attach them, just like, what happens? They all kind of form one puddle, right? It's kind of, the water always wants to go where water is. Gel is the same. So now that I have this wet slip layer, you probably think, cure it, right? I need this to stay wet. Just like if I wanted to add one puddle into another puddle, I need it to stay wet, all right? So watch what I mean. So now I'm going to pick up a healthy amount of gel. When I say a healthy amount of gel, and you'll notice that there's a string there. We want to detach that string, okay? Some people do this number. Some people pull it up and then twist it around. It's completely up to you, but the least amount of bubbles, the better, okay? Now, I'm going to take this brush, and I'm going to do what's known as, well, what I like to call just rolling it off of the brush, okay? I'm going to first take it, and I'm going to roll it off. Get all that gel off my brush, like so. Okay? Now, I'm going to take my brush. Now, you'll know, if I leave this alone, I don't have time to do this. Nobody has time to just let it sit here. But you see what it's doing? Look at what my gel is. If I just kind of let it go, she wants to pay me, don't she? She wants to pay with a card. Can you just cash at me or something? Because it's gonna take me a minute. Oh, honey, no.
Card. You got to swipe them.
How about just don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay. So see how it's moving down the nail? Thank you so much for your patronage. I know your granny paid for you to come to school.
No, she didn't.
Somebody wrote that check. It wasn't from you.
That was other grandparents.
Oh, one of them other grannies. Thank you, other granny. Thank you for coming too. Okay, well, how about that? We appreciate you.
She puts up with me every week.
She did. Look what it's doing. You see what it's doing?
Yeah, it's moving down.
It will move down. It will slide down. Okay? And if I wait long enough, it will eventually. Did she do a good job? That's the question, because she don't do pedicures. Did she do a good job?
Yes.
Okay, good. But it will eventually slide down the nail. But ain't nobody got time for that. So what am I going to do? And if you look at it from the side, Is that nice and level? Oh, it's leveled and smooth. Your acrylic could never. Acrylic could zero. Never. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do what's known as floating the bead. Okay? Floating. This is different than stringing. Okay? Floating because it's already floated down, but it's not floated down as much as I want it to. I'm going to make attachment. I'm going to attach my brush to this gel. And what you do is float it down. Now, I need more gel anyway, but let me pick up a bead. I'm going to pick up a bead here. Do the same thing I did before. Roll it off. Okay. And then we attach our brush to it. Just lightly touch it. And then we're going to slide this by doing this little U shape here, just kind of dragging it down. Can you see? Mm-hmm. Okay. And as we get closer and closer to that point, boom. Okay. Now, if you notice that there are parts or that you need more gel, but if you guys look at this, is this not perfect? Perfection. Perfecto. Okay. It's perfect. And I didn't even do anything.
Because it's you.
Because it's me. Right? But for some reason, if it was not perfect, let's just say, watch this. I'm just going to swipe out a little middle part. You see how it's not level anymore? Mm-hmm. So what I can do is what's known as stringing the bead. So I'm going to pick up a bead right here and see how it's like the little snot bubble that your little brother used to mess with you with all the time. It was just like a string of product. Hold on, let me do it again. String of product here. You let it kind of hang down like that. You see a string. See that? So what I can do is pick up what I need and I'll have a string there. And once I attach it, I can just add. You see what I'm doing? And I pick it up, let it touch, and string that right where we need it. Tap it down and string that bead. This is called stringing the bead or stringing the gel. All right. So you apply it where you need it. Now, something that Eleanor was talking about in Italy, which we do it in the U.S. too, but take your hand and hold it upside down. Hold it like this, and you can create the apex from underneath. So hopefully you guys can see this because this is a clear nail, but I can take this and I can drag my product right down the middle and bring that product so that it has more of an apex, and it will by nature draw down and create that natural apex that I'm looking for. Okay, so that is what you guys are going to do today. We're going to build the nail with the gel. Now yours may not, and you can see that it will, if you mess with it too much. Thank you so much for coming. If you mess with it too much, you may have a lump or a dump here, a little humpy bump or whatever. But you just want to make sure that the client has, or that the nail has enough time to self-level as much as possible, right? Obviously, if you're building an apex, sometimes we do like that, and then we run and put it in here so that the apex doesn't flatten back out, right? But you can see that nail has already self-leveled. It's already self-leveled perfectly. And if you guys ever want to get the clearest, most clear enhancement you will ever see in your life, you can see that it has to be gel. Liquid gel, not even acrogel. It's pretty clear, but not this clear. You want ice clear nails, liquid gel. And you can see my light turned off automatically because it has a power save mode and it doesn't want to die on you. It turned off automatically. Oh, she said I want to see.
No, it's not to see because the camera.
I'm going to pull it back. Boom. You see it turned off automatically. So we have to turn it back on because it don't want to go dead. So you have to reset it. And then 30 seconds in the light. Okay. 30 seconds. And then close everything up because we don't want powder, because UV or gel dust is much finer than acrylic dust, okay? Because it's a very, very soft product, okay? And then I'm going to take a wipe, and I'm going to wipe that tacky layer. There are builder gels out there that do not have a tacky layer. There are. I don't particularly like them because you have to get every bit of that product on there that you need that first go around. But we're going to wipe this tacky layer, okay? Let me show you that it has one. If I zoom in really close, you guys can see the tacky layer here. Watch. Can you see how it
You can hear it.
Yeah. You can hear it sticky, right? But when I wipe this, and when you're wiping the tacky layers, lady, we do not want to do up and down, up and down. Why? Because you're getting that uncured tacky gel on your client's skin. We don't want that. So we're going to take it and we're going to wipe downward. Okay. If you need to do it twice, flip it over and then go in a downward motion. You see how clear that is? Very clear. Again, it's not top coat clear, but it is a very clear layer. So now all you guys have to do is shape it. Obviously, it's already shaped. And then take your buffer or your 180 grit and shape that nail to perfection. Okay. And if you ladies want to get a double grade today, put some gel polish on top of it. Boom. Okay. Gel polish. I've got some top coat you guys can use if you want to try that. Okay. Because your polish is going to tell on you. Now, one disadvantage to gel is that you tend to get bubbles if you do too much moving and manipulating. You want to be very careful. You don't want to be whipping up your gel in the pot if it's a clear gel or a builder gel or something like that. You want to be careful because you will see that there will be spots that you see that little white spot because it's got dust in it, and that's a gel bubble. But you can fill that in with your gel polish, obviously. But if you were trying to do a clear nail, that would not be okay. I'd be mad about that little bubble. Okay, so that's what you're gonna do. So I'll just polish this real quick to show y'all. We'll just use a little tickled pink here. I love this glitter color here. This is actually gel.
Ooh, so
Isn't that
sparkly.
pretty? Is it sparkly? Okay. And then, of course, 2 coats and then a top coat. You don't need a base when we're using, remember, when we're using direct or putting gel directly on top of gel or acrylic. Okay?
How are we supposed to do it on the sticks?
You're going to either glue on a full coverage tip or just the little, because I don't want y'all doing extra long nail. This is too long, but I just show you guys can see. But we also had Jenna and also Maddie. They donated us their tips that they had bought, so you can put them directly onto the sticks, which they done took all the sticks. What kind of stick horse are y'all? Oh, they got the good sticks though. The stick horse got all the sticks over there.
I mean, I was looking for to steal some anyway.
Yeah, took them all. But no, grab you some sticks and then glue. Just do you a short, sweet and to the point. Make sure that it's been built and it's level and filed, and then throw you some gel polish on there. All right, like I said, I got some top coat that you guys can use if you want to see, because your polish is going to tell on you every single time. All right, so I'm going to end this live that is on YouTube right now. Thank y'all so much for watching. If y'all have any questions, come on over back to TikTok and I will answer those for you. Okay. In that case, the live is over.